Hey guys, Dude here with Dude's Do It Yourself. Today I just got this package, I'm very excited, from Randakk's Cycle Shack down in Tampa, Florida. It's a timing wheel for my 1979 Honda GoldWing, so we're going to open it up, see how it works, see if I can set the timing on it so I can adjust the carburetor and get it running right. Okay, this is the timing wheel. It's sturdy. I mean, it's made out of what looks like aluminum, about 3/16 thick. It's got timing markings all the way around, shows the rotation. This is 0 degrees top dead center. This mounts actually on the camshaft, on one of the camshafts, so that we can see what's going on with the engine in terms of timing. And then it comes with these set of instructions, which look very complete, photos, etc., etc. So this is going to tell us exactly how to use this to get the timing right on the Honda. In order to get to the cam, we have to take off these timing belt covers to get to that. The instructions say to loosen but not remove the radiator, the bottom bolts. You have to loosen them all the way around, and then the radiator has to come out about 1/2 inch to give enough clearance to get the covers off. So I got this side off. This is the toughest side because this actually sticks out further forward than the other side, and so this one in particular was tough to get off, but a little patience and didn't have to remove the radiator. I've got the timing belts covers off on both sides. The instructions now say to remove the camshaft timing mark inspection port. I'll show you that in a sec. And all 4 spark plugs. So this right here is the camshaft timing mark inspection port cover. The reason that it's almost impossible to time it off of these marks, is that when the motor is spinning, this thing is spitting oil out of that hole. That's why I went ahead and I'm going to try out Randakk's timing wheel. The spark plugs come out with a long, deep 18mm socket. So it's really difficult to see from this angle, but there's a T1 and a T2 mark on this wheel. Make sure you're on the T1, and there are marks on either side of the T that have to line up with these 2 marks on the crankcase. So that's the T1. If you see the T2, keep going because it's 180 degrees from T2. You'll see T1. This is top dead center for number 1 piston. Next, the instructions say that both cam wheels should have, it says up right there, so they should all, both sides should be generally in the 12 o'clock position. If they're not, you have to keep rotating the engine till you get T1 through the port and you get up and up. When that happens, it's hard to see from this angle, but there's a little mark there and a mark back here. These are lined up on this side as well as on the other side. So now I know that this number 1 cylinder is at top dead center. The next step is to remove this bolt washer without disturbing the cam gear or timing belt, and then install this timing wheel so that 0 degrees, which is top dead center, is roughly in the 2 o'clock position. So probably right about there. It doesn't have to be super precise. We just have to have access to it because we're going to make a pointer. Now, what we want to do is make sure that this does not move. These marks are lined up. We got T1 through the port up here, and we've got these marks lined up on the other side. Okay, so I'm going to do that now. So when I took this off, it rotated just a little bit. So I'm going to set it back so everything lines up. T1, mark here, mark on the other side. Timing wheel's installed. I've got my 0 degree top dead center roughly in the 2 o'clock position. Everything's lined up. I'm going to double check before I set the marker. There's going to be a little, we're going to use, Randakk calls it a pointer. So we're going to make a pointer that's going to tell us when the motor's at 0 degrees top dead center. Okay. Here's a picture of the pointer installed. It's just a piece of wire, kind of goes under the valve covered bolts there to hold it in place. So I'm just going to grab a piece of this wire I found laying around the shop and make my pointer. Okay, I've got my pointer installed under the valve cover bolts here. Bent it so it comes out right at the 0 degrees. It's a little bit long. I'm going to trim it and then we're ready for the next step. Okay, so I double checked to make sure that my timing marker, pointer, everything was set on 0, matched T1 in here. The F mark on the wheel is 10 degrees before top dead center. That's idle timing. That's when you want the ignition to spark. And that matches with the F mark on the crank. Now I installed this Dyna electronic ignition, so I don't have points. So I removed the cap here because I'm going to have to mess around with that to get the timing right. Okay folks, so I did a little bit of cheating. I put in my #1 spark plug and tested it because I knew the timing was way off. I was way retarded, and my wife will verify that. So I had to advance the spark big time. It was past top dead center. That's why the bike wouldn't even fire. But now I got that on the F mark, which is where it's supposed to be. And I put in the rest of the spark plugs and connected it all up. And I'm going to check it out, you know, with my timing light. Let's see if this looks good. By the way, big shout out to my main man, Leroy, down in Miami, for bequeathing me this beautiful timing light. Here we go. We fire up the bike, see what happens. Yep, I think I need to turn some gas on. All right. Well, it'd work a lot better if I put the lead on. Here we go. Okay, so that looks like it's a little too advanced. I need it right on this mark. I'm sorry, the red mark over here. That's close, but not quite. Let me see if I can fix that. Okay, I tweaked the timing just a bit. Let's see if that likes it better. Nope, I retarded it too much. Okay, so I like the timing. If you look at this, it's right on. But I think I have some other issues. So the timing is spot on, but I may have other fuel issues or something with the carburetor. But I couldn't do anything about that until I got this squared away. I finished setting the timing on the 1979 Honda GoldWing GL1000 with Randakk Cycle Shack timing wheel. And I gotta say, I was very, very impressed with this. It's very sturdy. The instructions were incredibly clear, so clear I could follow them. So it has illustrations. It gives you step by step exactly how to do it, what all the markings mean, how to install the pointer, things to watch for, etc., etc. I was very, very impressed. I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, I bought this off their website for like 40 bucks. If I would have taken the bike into a shop, I know it would have cost me significantly more, and I learned something about my bike. So highly recommend this. They have a lot of other great items too for motorcycles, so make sure you check out their website. at www.randakk.com. Thanks for watching, guys.